Welcome to the Murfreesboro City Council meeting. It's October the 3rd. Councilman Smotherman has our prayer and our pledge.
If you would, please bow with me. Lord, thank you so much for this beautiful day we've had. We look forward to some cooler weather in the near future, and we're all excited that fall is just around the corner, and we can get outside and enjoy this beautiful city that we live in once again, where we can enjoy our parks and enjoy being outside with each other. And certainly we look forward to you continuing to keep your hands wrapped around our police officers, our firefighters, our school teachers, all of our citizens, and all the people who are elected up here tonight. I pray that you will look over us as we make decisions that are best for our city. In Christ's name I pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, want to make a quick recognition tonight. We have a very esteemed group here. Many of us have gone through the process. The only thing that I don't think y'all are going to get to see is being able to tour Womack Farms and seeing the horse breeding process. That was really an eye-opener for many of us who went through that. So sorry that y'all won't get to see that, but probably can Google it. We have Leadership Rutherford here, so want to ask everyone who's on Leadership Rutherford if you would stand, please. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all very much. And to those who are watching, if you've not gone through the Leadership Rutherford process, it's really something that you would want to take part in to see everything that Rutherford County has to offer. So thank y'all for taking your time to be able to learn more about the community you live in. All right, you have the consent agenda. I would ask that on approval tonight, if we could, on motion, make items 5 and 8 subject to legal review.
5 and 8 in the consent agenda.
Yes, please.
So moved with those changes.
Mayor, I just want to give, as I was reading our consent agenda, I wanted to give a little special recognition to something that showed up on our consent agenda, that we have 2 special members of our police force that are retiring. And these are Mia and Ruger, I think is how you pronounce that name. 2 canines that are retiring. They're both 9 years old, and we are conveying them to their handlers. Christopher Pate and Thomas Troutman are retiring their dogs from service to our community, but both dogs have served our community very well for many years, and they've been effective partners in keeping Murfreesboro safe and livable. And I thought they deserved a little recognition.
Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Smotherman. Not Mr. Smotherman, Mr. Shacklett. I'm sorry.
We look a lot alike.
I got a motion out there.
Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklett.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade. Mayor McFarland.
All right, we'll now move into old business. We have rezoning 20 acres located along North Academy Street, East Loki Avenue, East Embry Street, Christie Court, Palm Court, and Jetton Drive on second and final reading. This is ordinance 19-OZ33.
Move for approval.
Motion is second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklett.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Abstain.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. We'll now move to new business. We have a request for competitive seal proposals on employment benefits consultant.
I'll take that, Mayor.
Mr. Tyndall.
This is a request for council to approve a competitive seal proposal for employee benefit consultants for our wellness program, and also for our employee benefits, our general employee benefits consultant.
Any questions for Mr. Tyndall?
Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklett.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade. Mayor McFarland.
Aye. We'll now move into purchase of installation and hoseless sludge removal water system. Valerie.
Council, Good evening. I'm presenting for Darren tonight.
You have a PowerPoint?
Well, he wasn't going to have it any other way. So, yes, it is PowerPoint. Actually, it's in PowerPoint form, but it's just a couple of slides that help me to explain each memo as we go. So, get it in form here. All right. Okay. This is a sole source purchase request for a permanent vac system to go in our treated water trough. Periodically and multiple times during the year, we have to take the trough out of service in order to clean it, which requires staff to get in there, into the trough. They have searched for many years, I believe, to find a system that they could install that would help them with that process. Because when you take these troughs down, no water can be produced and sent out to the water distribution system. So they have found this MegaVac system that will, like I said, is a permanent installation to clean the trough. They are requesting, this is going to be completed in conjunction with two other projects that were presented and approved on the consent agenda. We're trying to group all three projects to save on the bypass pumping or bypass piping costs that's needed to complete all three projects. We are asking again for the sole source purchase. It was listed in our capital budget in the amount of $165,000, and the cost for the MegaVac system is $164,400, and we request approval of that system.
Any questions?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance. Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. All right, we'll now move to request to purchase 6 variable frequency drives.
Yes, this again is a sole source purchase. We have 9 variable frequency drives total. 3 of those were installed with our new expansion of the Water Resource Recovery Facility. And the other 6 were originally installed in 2009. We were requesting to use and purchase Allen Bradley VFDs. The old VFDs are past its expected life cycle, and many parts are obsolete. The VFDs control the aerators, which is the picture on the right, that send oxygen into the treatment ditches that are at the plant. These VFDs help control the aerators and allows them to ramp up in speed a little at a time instead of hard stops and starts, which will extend the life of the aerators. The new equipment will also be more efficient, and we request the sole source purchase because these are compatible with our system and used throughout the Water Resource Recovery Facility. The purchase is, it was in the budgeted in the amount of $480,000, and the request for all 6 came in at $366,706. So we request approval.
Any questions?
If not, I move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Wright?
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. We now have a request for participation in funding of a sewer construction for Westline Commercial.
Yes. Okay. I have 2 slides for this one. The first, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with where West Lawn is. It's on Veterans Parkway, just south of 840. The second exhibit, it's a very small area. It's kind of, well, it didn't show up very well. It's in blue. It's just a small rectangular spot. that is being developed as a commercial subdivision. The developer, Parks and Harney Holdings, is requesting sewer participation. To serve this development, it just needed an 8-inch PVC sewer main at less than 12 feet deep. Their sewer main is shown as the green line in that little blue shaded area. The staff, we requested for a larger and deeper sewer main, 10-inch sewer main at 26 to 28 feet deep. So we chose to use ductile iron pipe at that depth. It's about 1,070 feet, and so the difference in the cost estimates between the 8-inch and the 10-inch is in the amount of $60,659. The department has a policy that allows us to participate with the developer based on what we feel like is a fair participation amount based on the cost estimates between the two. We request that this participation amount come from working capital reserves. I believe Darren actually had another participation request at the last council meeting as well.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion second.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
You have a change order for the Walter Hill Dam.
Yes. This will be change order 2 with Heron Construction Company. We, over the course of the project, have had, and this has been a difficult project, I would say. Now that the water level has dropped below the dam, the full face of the dam has become exposed, and during investigation on the face of the dam, we found a longitudinal crack across the full length, and we noticed it in seeing algae grow through the seam. The state requires that water be flowing over the top of the dam and not through the middle of it. So we are requesting that Heron fix the crack by pumping grout into the void. If the weather continues to cooperate, that work could increase the contract amount by about $17,815. If the weather does not cooperate, it will require them to pump a larger amount of grout into the crack since it is all the way across. It could increase the contract price up to $64,455. So we are requesting the full amount in hopes that we will not get to that amount. So we do request the $64,455 be approved for change order 2 for Heron Construction Company. The change order will add, it'll add to the contract time and change it from 347 days to 407 days for final completion. And the funding will come from our working capital reserves.
I move for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade. Mayor McFarland.
I will now consider providing sewer service to Rutherford County Schools outside of our city limits.
Yes. The department also in city has a policy that was amended in March of 2016 regarding outside city sewer services to outside city customers or county customers. The board and council approved that only properties that are to be considered as outside city sewer customers be providing sewer services is deemed as a higher benefit to the public than annexation affords, being parks and schools. So there are 3 requests tonight for 3 different schools in 3 different areas. The first is the Daniel McKee School along Halls Hill Pike. Gravity sewer is available out in front of the school, so they would possibly have a short sewer main extension to serve the school. This is the easiest of the 3. The next is, the next 2 are kind of in the Buchanan area The first that I'll present is the Buchanan Elementary School along Manchester Highway. And then the second is the property along Sledge Road that is south of the Buchanan interchange that the school board recently bought. They plan to put a triplex there, being elementary, middle, and eventually high school as well. It is also outside our sanitary sewer assessment district for Buchanan. Both of these schools would own and operate their own private pump station and pump to our gravity sewer. So they would have private pump stations, private force mains that the county school system would maintain and operate, and no other properties would be allowed to connect, simply following the policy that it's only for schools and or parks, and no other outside city customers. So if you don't have any questions, I request that we approve these 3 schools as outside city sewer customers.
I move for approval.
Can I ask a quick question for a second? So I know I've been contacted about one of these, and there's some questions about one of them. By approving this, does it solidify this is the only way that this will happen, as far as this is what the sewer line is going to look like and be and how deep it is, or would it still leave in possibility the ability to participate like what we just did on West Lawn?
We would not participate in any of these.
If somebody else wanted to participate and change the structure of this, does this put this in stone? This is the only way it'll ever be?
That's our recommendation for them to have, and it follows another, the Walter Hill School, it has private pump station and force main. The Christiana Middle School has a private pump station and force main, so we're kind of have set a precedent as to how we would serve the schools out in the county area.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Abstain?
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Abstain.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade. Mayor McFarland.
Aye. All right, we'll now move in. Thank you.
Thank you.
PowerPoint presentations were really good. Please make sure and let Mr. Gore know that.
I will let him know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move into, you've got several beer permits. Ms. Wright?
Mayor, we have a couple tonight that are change of ownership for our AMC theaters here in Murfreesboro. The background checks are back and in order, but they have not quite completed their building codes inspections. So if you approve this tonight, we will issue these new permits upon completion of those inspections.
We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade. Mayor McFarland.
I have 2 recommendations to reappoint 2 members to the Disciplinary Review Board. Ms. Mary Beth Hagan and Mr. Michael Osborne.
Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Wright, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Skels Harris.
Aye.
Mr. LaLance.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Smotherman.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. Any statements to be paid?
No, sir, not tonight.
Any other business from staff? Any other business from council members? All right. Leadership Rutherford, y'all got really lucky tonight. So, all right. We'll stand adjourned.